This is an apex. This is a really weird little intersection that I think should be closed off or reprofiled in some way. The road that I'm on is going to curve to the right. If you're coming from the other way, it's curving to the left. And you'll see there's a car up here on the left coming out of the other street. They want to turn right. That's fine. And you'll see there's a train track there, and the car behind them is on the other side of the tracks. That's where they should be. That's fine. The cars that are coming from the opposite direction that we're facing in, you can't tell. If they go straight, they go across the tracks. If they turn left, they come this way. But you don't need a turn signal to go in either direction, because if you're on the street I'm on, that's the natural flow of the street. And if you go straight, you're going straight. It's not really like a right turn. So the car that wants to turn right here can't tell, because no one uses turn signals and you don't need to right here. So they're going to sit there and you'll see a lot of people go straight, and this car turning right could have actually turned. You'll see at least 2 cars went straight, and they could have actually turned right then, but they don't know if they're going straight or this way. It's so dangerous. And then the people 2 cars in front of me, they want to turn left onto that street, and you can't really see around the curve. So this whole intersection is so dangerous. They should fix this or block it off. It's been this way for years since we moved here, and I've always said how dangerous this is, and I hate going this way, but this is the easy way home. Look up ahead at that blue car. It's a Chevy Volt. For whatever reason, I thought it was going to change lanes, but then it came back into its own lane. It was halfway over the line. And that's why I keep saying this is all day, every day. People are just drifting around. Keep an eye on that SUV that just turned left. They want to turn into the shopping center, and they're going to turn left up into what is an exit. And there's a sign right there that says, "Do not enter." And there's also an arrow, because when you're leaving there, it's a right turn only. They went up that. This was just one of those weird, funny things to me. These 3 cars turning left are all silver. If you can look way up there, there's a car way up there with its lights on. I'll try and put an arrow on the screen. That is a cop. And you'll see this light actually turns red, and I think this car coming through the intersection, this blue car, ran the red light. Because all of a sudden you see that car turn on its lights and take off. So we're sitting at the red light, and after it turns green, you'll see the cars on the right go. But then there's a couple cars ahead of me. They decide, oh, I would love to turn right from way over here. Like I said, this is all day, every day. This is the most dangerous place to drive that I have ever been to. You can't go by statistics, because statistics only go by insurance claims and tickets written and accidents reported. You don't see any of this stuff unless you actually see it, like in these videos, how dangerous it is to drive around here. It's extremely dangerous. Here's another one. A couple cars in front of me in the straight lane decides, oh, I want to turn right. This was just to show this Mercedes in front of me. I didn't understand. Why is that light stuck on, and what is that? It wasn't a brake light, and it wasn't a backup light. I just couldn't figure out why it was stuck on. I don't know, just something I was pointing out. Look up here as we're approaching this bridge. Watch on the right, there's a box truck with its left turn signal on. He stopped. They're actually sitting there. They're not broken. Those are not hazards. They're waiting. They're going to try and turn left from over there in a box truck. That is dumb. That's what I keep telling you people. It's so dangerous to drive here. Just go straight and turn around. It's not that complicated. This is just to show the Liberty tax guy. So I'm turning left onto this street. You'll see in the road where it's got a picture of a bike and a couple arrows. Is that supposed to be a bike lane? And if it is, it's not very good because it's in the middle of the actual traffic lane. A bike lane is supposed to be separate from the traffic, like separated by a line or something. There's barely even any room for a car. I mean, look at the SUV in front of me. There's no room for a bike there. You'd have to go in the middle of the road to go around them. This is in Cary. You'll see signs around town saying, bike-friendly community. No, it isn't. Not unless you have actual bike lanes. This was leaving Cars and Coffee Nightdale, and this dude's Camaro broke down, and I pulled over just to make sure he was alright. And it's funny, I don't know this guy. I usually know everybody, but I figured the car community has to stick together. Watch this white SUV on the right as we approach this red light. They just decide, I want to run the red light. Laws don't apply to me. This is just to show in the Sheetz parking lot there was a gremlin getting gas. The car, not Gizmo. This is on the freeway just to show this accident. It was like, I just wanted to show how hard that car got hit in the back. Pretty bad. All the windows are popped out and everything. I mean, it looks like it got hit pretty hard. This is really hard to see. If you look way up there on the other side of the road, look at this left turn lane that is on the other side of the street. There's a white car that goes into the left lane, on the left turn lane on purpose, simply to go around another car and got right back in front of it. Look way up there on the other street on the right, and you'll see a car going backward. People, stop driving backwards. This is just to show this junk removal company. I thought it was funny. It was called Count Junkula. I've seen this before too, over where the Sears used to be at, what is that, Crabtree? In the parking lot. I don't know if that parking lot's even the same anymore. See the parking spaces? How they're spaced apart? And then you get to the end and they spaced them incorrectly, and that one's a heck of a lot smaller. That's because they don't know how to measure. They can't count, can't measure. But if I'm ever in the Crabtree area again, I'll go back where Sears used to be and see if that parking lot's still around. And they did the same thing over there. It almost looks like motorcycle parking. It's so thin. Like, as they got closer to the curb, the one at Crabtree, it gets smaller and smaller. It's not just one small one. You can see where it got smaller and smaller, and it's so funny. I should get over there sometime. So you'll notice one of the issues with the traffic is when our light turned green, this light turned red. It shouldn't do that. The speed limit on this street is 45. When we took off from that green light, when it turned green, if we do 45, this light should know that and should be green. They should be timed all the way down the street to where if you're doing 45 all the way down, you should hit all greens. If you go too slow, you'll hit a red. And if you go too fast, sooner or later you'll hit a red. But they should time the lights. See, this one's turning red. We just left a green light. This one should now be turning green as we approach, and it turned red. Look, nobody stops on the left side. Nobody stopping. Nobody stopping. That's a Honda Clarity. Look at that. Wow. Are you serious? They have a passenger and they're on their phone. They're both on their phones. The driver and the passenger both are on their phones. Gosh, you guys are so stupid. You have a passenger to do that for you. EFZ 5532. You shouldn't be driving. I put burnouts for Wyatt on the window because we're going to the fast lane. And I'm on the freeway and the water from the top of the car just ran down. Wonderful. Just wonderful. It's funny, if you look at the girl behind me, she's not behind me. She's on the side. The car behind her wants to turn to the right and she's blocking. She should be behind me. There's no reason to be at the stoplight all the way to the right like that. That doesn't make sense. Should be over here more by the center. Unless you're turning right. The lady behind us is like FaceTiming. That license plate is expired 6 months. Are you serious, you stupid people? Really, people? You don't stop. Get out of the way. You stupid people. You don't need to stop, you dummies. Stupid people. You don't need to stop. Dumb, just stupid. Dude. What you doing, man? He's on his phone, you moron. No name on the truck. Stupid guy. What are you doing? Sitting way back here, poor lady. What are you doing? The heck, now the lady's trunk is open. What is this lady doing? She's sitting there in the bank thing, and now she's sitting there with her trunk open. What the heck is she doing? Just sitting there. I swear, man, hillbillies are just strange. This BFPE guy is just driving with his, it's hard to see. His phone is on his steering wheel. It's red, got a red case over it. And he's just driving with it on his steering wheel with his right hand on it. It's funny, the lady in front of me, she's on her phone, she's got a cigarette in her left hand, and the car behind me has also got a cigarette in their left hand. I guarantee she throws her cigarette out the window. The BFPE guy, HJ6022. Truck 1629. Just cannot put the thing down.
Every day it's a little harder.
Frozen 2 is sensationally entertaining.
To feel my power grow.
It's a visual knockout.
Don't you know just
Evil.
part of me that loves you?
And one of the most beautifully animated films of the decade.
Yeah, right. It's satanic.
The global phenomenon is now nominated for 2 Golden Globes.
Oh my gosh.
Best animated film and Best Original
It's
Song.
terrible.
Disney's Frozen 2.
It's
Rated PG.
satanic.
Kind suggested in theaters everywhere. See it again.
No,
don't see it again. It's completely satanic, you dummies.